Hello everybody and welcome back to Up North Aquatics. Before we do anything fish related today, I just have to give a big thank you to everybody who watched the first video, the few that subscribed. This is going a lot better than I thought it would. So I'm very excited, and I'm excited to interact with more of you, show you all more things, and we can learn from each other. So thank you. It really does mean a lot. Again, I'm Joel with Up North Aquatics. If you're new, please subscribe if like fish keeping is a hobby of yours, and you want to follow along with me and mine. But all right, enough talking. Let's get to the fish and let's have some fun. So the subject today is the 30-gallon Half Moon office tank. It's the only tank I have not shown yet, and today we're mostly worried about the fish. This is a tank where I have a male betta. He's going to stay for a little while. The rest are 12 bloodfin tetras and 6 x-ray tetras. I got them because I've always liked the tetras, but you know, I've done all the common ones and I wanted to try something a little different, a little harder to come by. The bloodfin tetras I had to order in. The x-ray ones I was able to find. But anyway, they're moving out. We have a new shipment of fish coming in shortly. Some of the new inhabitants will need that tank. So today we are going to move these guys down into the basement and add them to another aquarium. So one way I kind of shot myself in the foot with this tank is by putting so many hiding places in it. It was kind of necessary having this many tetras with a betta, I guess. So I didn't want his fins getting nipped or anything, even though there's never really been issues, and I do spend a lot of time next to this tank and I've never seen any really problems going on. But so now I have to basically take all of this out of here, drain the water level a little bit, get the plants out, get the fish out, get it rescaped, put the betta back in, and then just kind of keep it cycled with him until the new fish for it show up. I do not have a tripod or anything to kind of film me doing it, so the next part of this video I'll just take clips, I guess, short clips of the steps along the way and just kind of mash them all together. So hang tight for that. The tools we're using, just 2 5-gallon buckets, siphon hose, and a large net. All I'm really going to do is siphon a couple inches of water into the blue bucket, take all the decorations, put them in the gray bucket, take all the fish, put them in the water in the blue bucket, and then we'll rescape it, fill the water level back up so that maybe some of these roots aren't exposed here and everything's underwater. And it'll be kind of like a partial water change anyway. Put the betta back in here and bring the tetras downstairs, and then I'll go through a little bit of an acclimation process and show you guys that as well. So yeah, hang tight while I get all this done, and I'll put the clips of me doing that right here, right now. All right, so first step was to start the siphon and just put a couple inches of water in the bottom of the bucket. Not too much, but obviously enough to keep them wet and allow them to move around to get water through their gills. So just a couple inches. So next we want to remove these decorations so we can catch them nice and easy. This is going to be fun filming one-handed. All the floating plants. That was attached to a log right in the bucket. And we can rescape it all when we're done. This is going to make a total mess, but kind of do what you have to do. This is the big boy here. That left us with more floating plants that were attached, which we could easily rescape. Come on now. And then lastly, I'll take this filter out, but that's going to take 2 hands, so I'll check back in a few. All right, there she is. Everything empty except for the heater, which shouldn't be an issue. It's right up against the glass. One note here is that when you're taking a filter out, the important thing is if it's going to be out of water, for long enough for it to dry out. You really should put water in the bucket too. This is only going to take a few minutes to scoop these fish out, or else I would be putting that in clean or dirty, I guess, but tank water, treated tank water. You don't want them to dry out. You'll kill your bacteria. You don't want to put it in fresh, untreated water out of the tap, or else you'd kill it with chlorine, chloramine, etc. So, but now, the fun part, you gotta catch all these fish. I'll try them back in a second. Figured we'd take a peek while we got them under the light at these bloodfin tetras, if I can get it to focus and get them to stop moving, just to appreciate that red on their tail fin. Beautiful fish, very fast moving, fun in schools. But yeah, we'll move on to finding the rest of them in here. Well, I got one. I might as well also put a little spotlight on the X-ray tetra. Really good looking tetra as well. You can see right through it. Kind of weird some people out. I like it. Do a little bit of red on their tail fin, but their big, I guess, spot to point out is that yellow on their top fin and bottom fins there. Excuse me, I'm having a moment. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, beautiful tetra. Also really good schooling fish. They do get a little bigger, but they're going in a bigger tank anyway, so. All right, I will be ready. All right, well, there's the aftermath of pulling everybody out and refilling the tank up with water. And our little Betta is back in there. The rest of the tetras all down here. Now we'll fast forward to the fish room and I'll show you how I do my acclimation. All right, so here we are at the Betta sorority tank where I'm gonna try these tetras for Tankmates, using caution of course. But I do think it's gonna go pretty well. I have had some rasboras with these gals before and they've done just fine. So right now I have a little bit of water siphoning through an air line from the Betta sorority tank into the 5-gallon bucket with tank water from the office tank these guys were in, just because that office tank being in its own room and not always the same exact temperature as the tanks down here, and the parameters could be a little bit off because it's on a different water change schedule, as well as having like different amounts of driftwood and live plants and stuff like that. Generally any other tank in the basement I could take a fish, or in the fish room I could take a fish and put it from tank to tank without issues really, other than a little bit of temperature acclimating for the heated tanks and whatnot. But in this situation I just felt like this was a little bit safer method, just to make sure everybody's safe going into their new tank. All right, now that these guys are all temperature acclimated, drip acclimated, and used to, I guess, the parameters that I keep in this Betta tank, mine's a little bit of mess from dumping some extra water in there. It's time to introduce them and see how they do. So I guess let's do that now, and then I'll play some clips of everybody in the tank, and in the future we'll do some updates to see how everything went long term, but I think they're gonna do just fine. So why don't we go ahead, just dump them right in. Always check your specimen container to make sure nobody's left behind. Whoops, and there they go. Right off the bat, obviously going into the plants and whatnot, till they kind of settle in and get used to their new surroundings and everything. But yeah, so far so good. And I'll play us out with a couple clips of them settling in, and we'll go from there. All right guys, well, before I send you off with a couple clips of the new fish settling into the new Betta sorority tank, the new Tankmates, I just wanted to take the time again to say thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you everybody who, you know, watches, subscribes, likes. It all helps so much. You know, anything I make on this channel, I'm just gonna put right back into the channel to do more fun things and expand our hobby, and you know, always learn more, always sharing more. So just wanted to take the time to say thank you to every single one of you, and again, thanks for being here, and we'll see you soon.